Fabrizio Romano reveals Liverpool decision on Arne slot, future after latest loss. The Premier League champions looked to have turned a corner with impressive wins over Aston Villa and Real Madrid at Anfield, but were beaten comfortably at the Etihad Stadium in Pep Guardiola's 1,000th match as a manager. Erling Haaland opened the scoring for the hosts after missing a penalty before Nico Gonzalez and Jeremy Doku were on target with strikes from distance after Virgil van Dijk had a goal, controversially ruled out due to an obvious action from offside Andy Robertson. Liverpool did not manage a shot on target until the 75th minute in the loss, which now leaves them 8th in the Premier League and 8 points behind Arsenal after 11 games. The big spending Reds have lost 7 of their last 10 games in all competitions, and all of a sudden, pressure has cramped up on Slot, who was subjected to sacked-in-the-morning chants from City fans. However, despite the dire run of form after spending a record $446 million on the likes of Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak in the summer, Romano is adamant that Liverpool still view Slot as the right man for the job and are not entertaining the idea of looking elsewhere for a new manager. Let's start today's video by mentioning the situation of Liverpool. Romano said in his latest YouTube video, a really difficult moment for Liverpool in the Premier League. Despite the recent good results, against Manchester City, Liverpool were not performing. Liverpool were in a difficult situation and lost 3-0. They have already lost more games in the Premier League this season than last season after spending important money in the summer. But what we can say is that the information is very clear. Liverpool keep backing the manager Arne Slot. Liverpool keep supporting the coach and keep believing Arne Slot is the right man for the job and the right man to fix the situation. Liverpool maintain confidence. There is no contact with any other agent or representative of a different manager. There is full trust in Arne Slot. After the international break, Liverpool returned to action with a game against Nottingham Forest at Anfield on 22nd November before taking on PSV in the Champions League ahead of a trip to West Ham on 30th November. Slot signed a 3-year contract in 2024 and guided Liverpool to the Premier League title in his first season at the helm. Liverpool's Florian Wirtz sends defiant 3-word message after being destroyed by Gary Neville. Florian Wirtz has delivered a defiant message in the wake of Liverpool's 3-0 demolition against Manchester City. The German playmaker has suggested the Reds will not be deterred by their downturn in form, as he said, "We keep going." Erling Haaland, Nico Gonzalez, and Jeremy Doku all got on the scoresheet as Virgil van Dijk cruelly had an equalizing goal ruled out. The result saw Liverpool fall to 8th in the Premier League, having lost 5 of their last 6 matches in the division. After a busy summer of spending, the Premier League champions have failed to hit the heights of last season under Arne Slot. That has led to the likes of Wirtz and Milos Kerkez coming under scrutiny. Wirtz's message on his Instagram story came as his form was targeted by former Manchester United defender and pundit Gary Neville. The former Bayer Leverkusen star has yet to produce a goal or an assist in the top flight since arriving in a British record deal. Neville believes that 22-year-old's performances must be highlighted after he looked like a little boy against City. The ex-United captain did not hold back. He said on the Gary Neville podcast, "Wirtz is a problem. Let's just call it as it is. It's an issue. He's 100 matters plus. And to be fair, I said a few weeks ago Milos Kerkez looked like a little boy out there. Today I thought Wirtz looked like a little boy. That can't be the case. We've been tiptoeing around him for a few months, around the fact that he's young. He's coming to a new country, but he's 100 millimeters plus. You're going to have to stand up soon. He's obviously got something. He's a really good player. He's technically fantastic, but he's been mauled out there today by Matheus Nunes and by others. He's been chucked around the pitch and didn't deliver on the quality side of things as well, so his performance was a real worry." Despite his evisceration of Wirtz's efforts, Neville is adamant Liverpool must play their part in getting him up to speed. The commentator reckons Slot must persist with the summer signing. He's a Germany international of great standing, and he looks well short in respect of what you'd expect in a top physical Premier League match, added Neville. They've got to get him up to speed. They've got to get that little bit of tenacity into him, and that little bit of something that means he'll start to get into form. because what they have to do is stick with him and persist. Wayne Rooney takes aim at Mo Salah, again as he spells out major Liverpool issue. Wayne: Rooney has again taken aim at Mohamed Salah as he accused the Liverpool forward of not doing enough defensively. With his team in the midst of a poor run of form, the Reds were beaten for the 5th time in the Premier League after losing at Manchester City on Sunday. Across all competitions, they've now lost 7 of their last 10 games, with some ruling them out of the title race, whilst their Carabao Cup defence is already over. Salah was prolific last year but has struggled for goals this term, albeit in a front line that has been unable to fire regularly. The Egyptian has just 4 goals to his name, but has previously been freed of some defensive duties. That left Liverpool right-back Connor Bradley exposed, up against City ace Jeremy Doku, who enjoyed a stellar afternoon at the Etihad. The Belgian was named the player of the match, scoring a stunner, but Rooney believes Bradley should have had more help in containing him. He said on Match of the Day, "Salah is in the team to score goals and create goals. He's been one of the best players in the Premier League over the last 6 or 7 years, but in big games, you have to double up. You have to get back and help your teammate." Connor Bradley was having a really tough game today, to be left on his own. Ryan Gravenberch was trying his best to help him and get over there, but then that leaves spaces in other positions. I think Salah has to come back and help his teammate. Salah was unable to compensate in the final third, as City's backline were able to keep the likes of him, Hugo Ekitike and Florian Wirtz, under control as they closed the gap on Arsenal and created some daylight between themselves and the champions, who can ill afford any more slip-ups if they have any hopes of retaining their title. Rooney has already been critical of several aspects of Liverpool's game this season. Following their loss at Chelsea several weeks ago, he raised concern over Salah's defensive work rate. The former player was adamant that his lack of influence in the final third was no longer enough and questioned him in effort areas. He said, "When it's going well and you're scoring goals and winning games, it's great, and the team will put up with that. But over the last week, I would question his work ethic." Bukayo. Saka issues honest response to Arsenal setback as Man City stun Liverpool. Bukayo. Saka has reached out to Arsenal supporters on social media after the Gunners dropped points at the weekend, saw their advantage at the top of the Premier League reduced. Mikel Arteta's team were on the brink of defeating informed Sunderland when substitute Brian Brobby netted a stunning 94th-minute overhead kick to devastate the visitors. The draw brought an end to Arsenal's impressive 10-match winning run and prevented them from setting a new consecutive clean sheet record. Nevertheless, given Sunderland's formidable home form this campaign, the Black Cats remain unbeaten at their own ground. Arteta has reason not to be overly disheartened by claiming a point. Saka expressed his reaction to the outcome on Instagram. The Arsenal winger wrote, "Tough one to take yesterday. I want to thank all of our supporters that traveled so far. We appreciate you. See you all after the break." Manchester City cruised past Liverpool 3-0 on Sunday, narrowing Arsenal's cushion over Pep Guardiola's squad to 4 points, reduced from 6 at the weekend's commencement. The two championship contenders have already met this term, when Gabriel Martinelli struck a dramatic 93rd-minute leveler to secure a valuable point for Arteta's men against the 8-time Premier League champions. Arsenal are scheduled to meet City once more in April, an encounter that could prove pivotal in the championship battle with just 5 fixtures remaining afterwards. Guardiola's team appeared shaky earlier in the season following consecutive losses to Tottenham and Brighton. However, apart from a 1-0 defeat at Aston Villa, City have bounced back to their top form. On the other hand, Arsenal have only suffered 1 league loss, a 1-0 setback against Liverpool at Anfield, where Dominic Szoboszlai's long-range free kick made all the difference. Both City and Arsenal can boast of solid defensive records this season, with the Gunners letting in just 5 goals compared to City's 8. Both teams also share a +15 goal difference. A potential worry for City is if Erling Haaland gets injured. The Norwegian forward tops the club's scoring charts with 14 league goals this season. However, their next highest scorers, Jeremy Doku, Phil Foden, and 5 others, are all tied on just 1 goal each, leaving a significant gap behind Haaland. Arteta put in a lot of effort during the summer transfer window to bolster his squad, ensuring that when key players are out, such as Viktor Gyökeres currently, others are ready to fill the void.